Hello and welcome to episode 5 of She Hates Wrestling. She Hates Wrestling is a podcast where a husband tries to convince his wife that wrestling is awesome by making her watch and review a wrestling match. As always, I'm joined by my overly understanding wife, the Deborah to my Stone Cold.
Hi.
This month's episode is a departure from what we've previously been doing. We will be now reviewing every single WrestleMania main event randomly chosen by my wife. First up is WrestleMania 8. Let's get started.
Right.
The pay-per-view was on April 5th, 1992. It was 62,167 people were in attendance. Did the crowd look big to you?
Yeah, it did look massive.
Supposedly a quarter of those people got in for free.
Why?
Just so you want an empty stadium.
Right. So they don't think they could have filled it?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah, if you don't. Well, obviously they didn't fill that because they had to give away a quarter of the tickets for free. Now, some of that would be, let's say, radio giveaways and competitions and stuff like that.
Right.
But, yeah.
That's a big number though.
60,000 is pretty
No,
big.
I mean like a quarter of that to
yeah.
be given away for free.
It was in the Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis, Indiana. The Hoosier Dome back then, the Colts, the Indianapolis Colts, that's where they used to play football there. And WrestleMania 8 was the biggest crowd that was ever in that stadium.
So the Colts couldn't even bring in that many people.
Obviously, because they can't.
If they had gave
pitch.
quarter of the tickets away for free, maybe they might have.
But they wouldn't have the pitch, so the wrestling always kind of gets bumped up. Like in Wembley, you watched. Obviously, that's the biggest because they get to fill all the seats of on the grass. Mm-hmm. Would you be able to tell me, like we did last week now? Last episode, sorry. April 5th, 1992.
Yeah.
What was the number one single?
Oh, here we go.
In the UK, the 5th of April, 1992.
1992. Some dance track.
No, you do know it.
I do know.
Yeah. It was quite popular, quite a big song.
A dance track was my go-to. I was going to go for like No Limit or something like that.
It was Shakespeare's Sister.
Oh.
With Stay.
Okay.
Was the number one song, just to put you in the time zone.
Well, what I just watched does not put me in that time zone.
There were 9 matches. Now, because I didn't make you watch the whole event,
Thank God.
there were 9 matches on WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. There should have been 10, but the match that had the British Bulldog in it didn't take place because the matches they couldn't fit it in.
Right.
So the Bulldog was backstage and he was so with Vince.
So he was all ready to go and then he couldn't.
No, you're not going to. Sorry.
It's a waste of a trip.
The Legion of Doom also were supposed to be on this pay-per-view, but Hawk was under suspension.
Who's Hawk?
One of the members of Legion of Doom
right.
was under suspension by the WWF at the time.
Why?
For failing a drugs test. So they weren't allowed to be on.
But were they there?
The event. They weren't there.
He was suspended, but you know what? Travel. Come on.
I'll get the money, yeah. Get them. So they had like an interview section near the start of the pay-per-view where they come out to the crowd.
Finn squeezes everything he can, doesn't
Yeah, fucking right, Will. The highlight probably of this event, which you didn't get to watch, was Bret Hart beating Roddy Piper for the Intercontinental title, which is probably in my top 5 wrestling matches of all time.
Right.
Was on this match. And also the Macho Man beat Ric Flair to become the World Wrestling Federation champion halfway through the event.
Okay.
So what do you think now? Halfway through the event, it's like, right here, you're my world champion. Get out there now. Should the world champion not be the main event? The main event.
Yeah, it should be, but
He isn't Hulk Hogan, is he?
He's not Hulk Hogan, exactly. So what the people want.
Yeah, it was. So it's a shame, but they are 2 great matches, which we should have watched, but you know.
But we didn't, and we won't.
I originally watched this. My dad got it from a fella he worked with. So my mum told me that day, your dad's coming home from work. He has WrestleMania 8 with him. So they taped it off Sky and got it home in the video, and we got to watch WrestleMania 8. The excitement was unreal to watch this as a 7-year-old.
Yeah, I appreciate that, but if you're excited now as a 30-odd-year-old...
Actually, sorry, as a 6-year-old.
Well, that's understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, the original plan for this pay-per-view, okay, there was 2 main events. You had Macho Man Randy Savage against Ric Flair for the world title, and then you had Sid Justice against Hulk Hogan, okay? The original plan was Ric Flair was going to take on Hulk Hogan for the world title. Now, the problem is that Hogan was already humming on about, I'm leaving, I want to take a break. He'd already kind of said around like WrestleMania 7 that like, oh, these movies, these other kind of stuff that he wants to do. Don't be relying on me, I'm not going to be around. And as well, the big steroid scandal had just kind of come out. So I think Hogan didn't really want to be the face of a company that was going through kind of like a big, massive court case at the moment. What they did is that Vince decided that Hogan couldn't be Ric Flair for the world title and then leave. Okay? And then he didn't want Ric Flair to be Hulk Hogan. So he was at a bit of an impasse here. He didn't know kind of what to do. What he decided, for storyline purposes, he would have a double main event. Sid wanted to wrestle Hogan in storyline purposes, okay? And it all kind of started at the Royal Rumble. So at the Royal Rumble, the last 3 men in the ring was Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan and Sid. The Royal Rumble was for the world title, so if you won the Royal Rumble, you would win the world title. Hogan was eliminated by Sid, and then Sid was pulled out of the ring by Hogan, and Flair won the Royal Rumble. And that kind of sets up where we kind of are. That's how they kind of worked it. It sounds a bit over elaborate, doesn't it? Like it's a bit, just to get 2 lads into a ring for 15 minutes, like it was a bit overdone. What did you think of the whole, this is Hulk Hogan's last match? Now I'm not going to do air quotes, but what did you think of that? Like,
What, the interview?
But not even the interview, but do you think it's a bit of a fuck you to everybody? Because it's billed as this is Hulk Hogan's last match.
Yeah.
But as like me and Gene said it, Hogan didn't say it's his last match. And then Gorilla Monsoon said, oh, Hogan hasn't said it's his last match. And then even Vince McMahon, with his Dikipo on him, said, oh, if this is your last match. But they billed it as his last match. So people would have went out, bought tickets to this event, or bought it on pay-per-view as, oh, this is going to be Hulk Hogan's. Do you know what I mean? This is it, like. But then in, like, 10 years later, he's fighting The Rock at WrestleMania 18. You know, it was nowhere, you know what I mean? It was just a bit of a fuck you by Vince and the WWF, like. I don't think so.
Yeah, but again, you're talking to someone who doesn't care. Like, I think... I don't know what to say to you.
No, but I'm trying to say, like, as like a non-wrestling fan watching it, it's a bit of a shit move that they did for people who would have paid their $30 to watch this, kind of going, this Hulk Hogan's last match, and then kind of go, it's not really.
Oh, but there was a free quarter in there as well.
He'd be back at WrestleMania 9. You know what I mean? Like, it's a bit of, I just think it's a bit of fuck you. It's a dirty kind of trick to play on people. So who is Sid Justice?
Who is he? I've never heard of him before.
You've never heard of Sid Justice?
Never heard of him. Never seen him. He's too intense.
Do you not think that's great?
No, he's too intense.
Do you not like his talking through his teeth and his...
No, too intense. The height of him. How tall is he?
He's a big dude. He's like 6'8", I think, 6'9".
Yeah, no.
He's a big dude. He debuted in 1987. That's when he first started. And he got to WCW in 1989 in a tag team called the Skyscrapers.
Right.
As you can kind of, you can tell. He joined the Four Horsemen in WCW in 1990 as like their muscle, and his main purpose was to counteract the strength of RoboCop at Capital Combat.
Right.
I did say RoboCop. RoboCop is on a WCW pay-per-view.
Jesus. Why aren't we watching that?
Yeah, RoboCop, yeah. So he joined Vince in 91. When he first came, he was a good guy, but he was a bit on edge. The whole, like, see, they would call him psycho, or, like, you know, he's a bit of a looper. But he's always been like that. But he was a good guy. Turned on Hogan, the whole Royal Rumble business. So he was kind of trusted into this main event at WrestleMania. As I said, like, he joined Vince in 91. this is 92 and he's already into the main event. But he looks like a monster. Like he's...
No, he does. Like
He's a good foe for Hulk Hogan to have. We'll just go into our main event breakdown here, right?
I want to talk about that awful interview, no?
So, we start Mean Gene with Sid Justice. Is Mean Gene fat?
Who's Mean Gene?
The fella who was interviewing him.
Oh, I wasn't
I think that's
at him.
like the third time you said who's Mean Gene on this podcast. I'm pretty sure you said it at the foursome at some point. You say you're like, who's Mean Gene?
I wasn't looking at him, to be honest. Because they're all just the same. They're all just standing there in a suit, like, so I don't tend to look at them.
Yeah, you called him you're a fat, bald-headed oaf. I was like, he's not really, he's bald. Like, he's bald. I don't call him fat now.
Well, compared to him, he is.
Well, everyone would be fat compared
But
to
then,
him.
because we're all then just fat oafs then compared to him.
Obese. I just have here, I love Crazy Sid. Like, I think that's genius. That's a great gimmick. Do you not like it? No.
No.
Just a looper.
It's just too intense. Like, it's not for me.
So Mean Gene cuts to a promo with Hogan and Vince. What I got from the promo is that Hogan is too busy to wrestle. Like, he's family. He has outside industry business ventures, you know? Like, he's like this wrestling lark, Vince, you know what I mean? Oh, you can't do this.
I wasn't even, like, I'll be honest, I wasn't listening to the conversation. I was just more looking at the way it was set up, like, the whole...
All the pictures.
It's like, what's that thing called? It's like inside the actor studio minus the audience. You know, the intense, the silence, the intense questions, and you know what I mean? And then Vince be like, oh, you know, thanks for everything, and thanks for the memories, and thanks for fucking making me filthy rich more than anything else, like.
That's well done, because that's what I have. I was like, thanks for the memories, thanks for Hulkamania. I was like, you create Hulkamania?
Yeah.
And you wrote
So he's saying, thank you to me.
Because Hogan says to him, thank you. I was like, fucking right you want to thank him.
Yeah.
Like that gaff you have, that car you have. Oh, thanks to that man sitting there in a dicky bow. It's like Vince was like, we're going to do a serious interview, Hogan. And Hogan was in a t-shirt and a red bandana. I'm just going to sit down here. So are you agreeing that Vince McMahon created Inside the Actors Studio?
No, that's not what we're saying at all. I'm pretty sure there was some other type of show that was like that as well. That's where he got it from. He got the gimmick from elsewhere. I'm not saying he invented that. My God.
So we cut back after the handshake, and Sid's just laughing, kind of uncontrollably, and says it's going to be the end of Hulkamania. We cut down to Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Where did you get that name from? Gorilla Monsoon.
Now, he'd be a former wrestler, probably big in the 60s for the WWF. He would have worked for Vince's dad. He was quite hairy.
Oh.
Yeah, so Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain Heenan, they again tease, is this the end of Hulkamania? So then you cut to the ring and Howard Finkel.
P.B. Herman.
No. Howard Finkel introduces Harvey Wimpleman.
Oh, that's him. That's your man of the bag.
Yeah, Dr. Harvey Wimpleman.
What's the story about him, like? What relevance has he got to anything that's going on?
So that's Sid's manager. Now, he was in the back. You really didn't see him. He was standing behind Sid. I did see him.
Again, but I wasn't looking at your man, the other fella you were on about. What's his name again?
Mean Gene Okerlund.
Yeah, I wasn't looking at him.
No, I think it's unusual because normally when you have a manager, the manager does the talking. That's what a manager is there to do. They sell you. But Sid was just doing all his own talking. So Sid makes his entrance. I love this theme music coming out. Like that was class.
Why?
It was good music when he came out. I didn't like Harvey Wimpleman kind of doing like a promo as he was walking to the ring. Like just let him come out and to the pop, like.
To the what?
Like the cheers.
The pop.
A pop was like when the crowd go nuts, like.
Where did you get this terminology from?
This is wrestling.
The pop.
The pop, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like as we discussed before, Mick Foley does cheap pops.
Alright.
Yeah,
if you say so.
I did like Bobby Heenan saying he isn't wrapped too tight. And all that type of stuff. I thought that was clever. What did you think of Hulk Hogan's entrance? Did you like the way the camera went down the ramp to him and then he was like kind of standing there kind of giving the thumbs up and looking out at all the people coming.
Yeah, I think you were thinking too much into it. I was just.
Do you not seem like,
no.
like, wow, is this my last match? Yous are all so awesome, dudes. Like, you know, thank you very much. Like,
No, I didn't get that at all.
no.
No, just like, here's this bloody theme tune. This used to wake me up every morning. If somebody had this theme tune as their alarm clock.
That is an amazing.
Just
amazing.
frighten the shite out of me every morning. At 6:30 every morning, just like that. And out of a phone as well, not even anything, but like, so the sound was real awful. It was just,
It was like a Nokia phone, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Wasn't
I don't know what it was.
It
Like this real kind of hissy sound,
Yeah.
or whatever it was. Jesus, you jump in my skin every morning.
Yeah, so Hogan arrives to the ring.
Yeah.
Sid attacks Hogan. They're going back and forth. Hogan's music continues to play
Right.
as all this is going on. Did you notice all that? Like, they're fighting back and forth. He throws him out of the ring. Music is still playing.
Right.
Hogan rips his t-shirt. Still playing. The music is just constantly going. The sound seemed off of this. And there's stuff online, right, that says that the DVD version of this and the version that we watched on the network has been changed. What originally happened is that when Sid came out, Sid got a massive cheer. Like, the place was rocking when Sid came out.
Who is he like?
Right? And then when Hogan came out, a lot of the crowd booed Hogan. Because people now at this stage are kind of fed up with his shtick. It looks like the WWE have just kind of changed the audio to make it look a bit better.
Right.
Changing history.
Right.
To say, like, you know. But did you not, like, I noticed in the crowd, like when Sid came out, or every time Sid was doing a move, there was like lads in the front row and girls and all, like, clapping and cheering.
Yeah, like I was standing up, like.
Yeah, and like, oh, like, you were the man. Like, he was like, who's the man? Like, they're all shouting at him. Like, he is popular. It isn't good guy versus bad guy here. Like, people do like Sid. So Hogan clears the ring. He then tells the referee to get Sid back into the ring. Sid comes into the ring. What did you think of their test of strength?
That was a lot of shit.
It's bad, isn't it?
This whole match was a lot of shit. Like, you could have jumped in there untrained and still did the exact same thing. If you had been sitting there waiting for this as a main event,
Probably been there for 5 hours when we sitting
you
down.
would have
Like,
been seriously disappointed. Like, nothing happened. Standing there holding hands for 10 minutes.
yeah.
And then grabbing his shoulder for 10 minutes, lying on his leg for 10 minutes. It was just ridiculous. Like, nothing happened.
I don't like. They'd be called, let's say they'd be rest holds. Okay, that's what they'd be called. That's literally where two wrestlers can take a break.
A break from what though?
But that's what I'm saying. If you're watching like a long match, 15 minutes, 25-minute match, right? People can do moves back and forth, and then they would go into a rest hold, let's say for like 2 minutes, and basically they're just getting their breath back, and then they can go do something else. This match just seemed to be a continuation of rest holds.
Yeah, well, even our TV stopped working because it got fed up.
It did. I was like so bored with this. Yeah. But what annoyed me more is even when Sid had Hogan in his hands, it just looked like they were holding hands.
No, there was nothing there happening.
Like, Sid didn't even look like he was like oh, I'm getting into this. He just was standing there holding Hulk Hogan's hands for like 5 minutes. So then there was more outside. Get back inside. I'm gonna hold your neck for a minute.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And again, even when he's holding his neck, like his hands, like I don't know if you know, like, if you ever hold on to anything tight, like your knuckles go white, like your hand. See, he was just had
But
his
the commentator
hands.
did say that.
What did he say?
He said something like, "Look at their hands; they're white from." Like, they did mention the whites of their hands.
Well, there's gorillas trying to sell it.
But there was no whites of their hands.
There wasn't.
Well, now maybe there was, but that tan, there was no white coming through that tan.
Just whose tans?
Oh Jesus, the two of them. The two of them have to be going to the same place.
Do you think they're tan, or do you not think they're just? Because like Hogan's from Florida.
Yeah, but I'd say no. Sorry, I don't mean a false tan. I mean like a sunbed. I say they're just like sizzling away at any spare time they have. Like I don't think they're getting spray tans. Like, but this is like
backstage, like,
you know, it's like a Ross and
Yeah.
Friends when you get. Do you want a 1, 2, or 3?
Yeah.
I don't know. What are you, Puerto Rican? It's exactly what this is.
Yeah. That's the Kent, Mississippi. So we've got rest hold after rest hold after rest hold. Hogan took a choke slam from Sid. That bit where he's like flapping around like a fish in the middle of the ring. But I did notice when he did that, like again, the crowd went apeshit. Like the crowd loved that. That was like, yes. I think there's people there kind of going, this fucker's going to get it now. Off with you, Hulk Hogan. Like, good luck. So Hogan then is in the rest hold, holding his neck. The referee does the whole let's lift the hands up, 1, 2, 3. Hogan gets out of it. Hogan starts with his, I'm going to have a comeback. Sid then cuts off his comeback, and then Sid shouts to the crowd, powerbomb. Again, the crowd go apeshit for the powerbomb. Again, Hogan gets over all of this.
You're seeing a lot more than I did.
Just watching it, yeah.
I was watching it too, like, but I didn't see any of this.
Yeah. Sid shouts powerbomb.
I didn't see anybody shout powerbomb.
Yeah, and the
Somebody
crowd
got beaten with a doctor's bag.
The crowd, but that was after the test of strength. Hogan was hit with the doctor's bag, and Sid threw him back in. Then for the neck rest hold, where he sit there on his neck. So after he doesn't hit the powerbomb, he hits a side suplex, right? Because obviously I don't think he was ever going to be able to get Hulk Hogan up into a powerbomb, because Hulk Hogan's quite a big man. The referee counts for the 1, 2, 3, and then Hogan kicks out at the 2, and then we start with the Hogan comeback with the shaking of the head, and you punch me, but I'm not affected by this. And we go into Hogan's big routine of big boo, power slam, and leg drop. And then it should be 1, 2, 3, the match is over. Now, you just said I've been watching something different from you're watching, but did you notice the absolute chaotic fuck up that happened at the end of this match?
No.
So Hogan hits his leg drop, okay? And the referee counts 1, 2, and Sid kicks out.
Yeah.
Okay? Nobody kicks out of the leg drop.
What do you mean nobody kicks out?
Nobody. That's Hogan's finishing move.
Right.
Nobody kicks out of the leg drop.
Okay, so how's that fuck up though?
So Sid kicks out of the leg drop, and Sid's manager then jumps up onto the ring and tries to get into the ring.
Yeah.
And then the referee comes over and says, no, get out of the ring. Harvey jumped into the ring anyway, and then the referee rings the bell.
Yeah.
Now while this is going on, they cut to the ramp, and then Gorilla Monsoon's going, oh, it's Papa Shango.
Right.
Right? What's he doing here? So what had to happen is that Papa Shango missed his cue.
Right.
Okay? Papa Shango was supposed to get into the ring for 1, 2 and break up the count.
Right.
But completely fucked up what he was supposed to do. And even if you notice it, we didn't notice it, like, they say, oh, there's Papa Shango, and he kind of runs and kind of stops and literally kind of like looks down, and then it cuts back to the ring, and it's like about another 15 seconds it then cuts back and he jumps into the ring. So even people's kind of standing there kind of going, do I still go into the ring? What do I do? So he goes into the ring. They double team Hulk Hogan for all of 10 seconds,
if even,
and then the Ultimate Warrior's music hits. What's your problem with the...
Just... He's too...
Is he too intense as well?
Yeah, well, it was like as if he just took a line of coke, right? And then vroom, he was like fucking like a rocket up his arse.
Out he goes.
Flew out. How he didn't trip over a tassel and never know. It was too much. Like, he was on something. It was obvious.
So this is interesting, because what happened is that no one had seen the Ultimate Warrior since SummerSlam of 91, so the previous year's SummerSlam. He was in a match with Hulk Hogan as a tag team. They fought these other lads. The story is that before he went out, he demanded 250 grand off Vince, or he wouldn't sign his new contract. Okay? So Vince was like, okay, and gave the Ultimate Warrior 250 grand. Well, the Ultimate Warrior came back through the court, and Vince was like, you were sacked, get the fuck out of here now. Okay? But obviously Vince needed him to be in the match, because that's what they sold the match for. So Vince has now brought him in a couple of months later, because obviously with Hulk Hogan leaving, he needed somebody
With a shorter hair too.
to come in. So you did notice...
Yeah, I didn't like it.
What do you think of his body?
I didn't notice it.
Because he was a lot smaller.
Oh, he's tiny little nipples. Is that what you mean?
Well, no.
Alright. He's got little, tiny little baby nipples.
He is...
Same Puerto Rican tan though.
He's a lot smaller in mass, like muscle. Like he's really, really small.
Right.
Like if you saw side by side, say Warrior 89.
Right, I thought it was just the hair was confusing me, you know.
A lot of people, there was a rumour for a long, long time that wasn't the Ultimate Warrior.
Well, I actually, because you said that, because I was looking at his face, and I was like, is he after getting something done to his face? Because I know, like, obviously he had the mask over his eyes, but his mouth.
Paint.
Oh, was that paint?
Paint.
All right, that's good paint.
Does it himself.
Right. But his mouth looked completely different, and I was like, maybe got new teeth or something. I don't know.
Could
Like,
have got new teeth.
but now you're telling me it could be a different person.
Well, no, it's not. No,
How do you know it's a different person?
Jim Melby, he came out and said, no, that is.
All right, but he actually does look completely different in the face. I did genuinely think he got something done, so it is weird that you said that.
Yeah, no, then maybe he
looks very different.
He did. The Ultimate Warrior makes. See, this is what I want you kind of like, as we're doing this is what I want you to kind of start noticing.
Oh, for God's sake. Imagine you're not doing enough, like.
No, but I'm saying this is the type of stuff this is why people don't like Hulk Hogan. Okay? So the Warrior comes in for the save.
Yeah.
He clotheslines Papa Shango out of the ring. As he does that, Sid jumps in and smacks the Warrior with a chair. Okay?
Right.
And then Sid goes to smack him again, but Hogan pulls the chair off Sid and Sid jumps out of the ring.
Right.
So the Warrior come down to save Hogan, but then Hogan ended up saving the Warrior.
Yeah.
Because Hogan is just fucking brilliant, isn't he?
Yeah.
And that's a pretty dick move. And that's a choice. That's an obvious, it just didn't happen. That's like, oh, I'm going to save you. You can come down, but I'm going to save you.
Right.
So before we finish talking about the match, okay, we have to play our famous game of Guess Who's Dead.
Guess Who's Dead?
Can you tell me,
Yeah.
out of all the people we've seen, this is where I'm going to stretch
Yeah,
it
are you
out
going to
now.
ask me about commentators and stuff?
Everybody that was on camera today.
Oh God, but like we probably already
Guess
went
Who's
over
Dead?
some of these and now I can't remember.
Yeah, no, there is. No, the obvious one. Well, sorry, no, I'm not going to do commentators.
Okay, so right. Guess Who's Dead?
So, yeah, go for it.
Right, well I've never seen that fella Sid Justice before.
Okay.
So I'm going to say he's dead.
Okay.
Hulk Hogan is still alive and kicking.
He isn't it.
Ultimate Warrior is dead. Did he not die recently or something like that? And I've never heard of that other fella, Papa, whatever. Papa, what's his name?
Papa Shango.
Yeah, I've never heard of him, so I'm going to say he's dead.
Okay.
Anybody else something to comment on?
So, of
Pee Wee Herman, I'd say he's still alive.
all the people in the ring, again, not the commentators, the only person that is dead is the Ultimate Warrior.
The only person dead is Ultimate Warrior. Okay, everyone else is still alive.
Ultimate Warrior died 2014
Alright,
of a heart attack.
right.
He was 54. So if we go into the aftermath of what happened, because obviously you're not going to watch the next episode, whatever's going to happen.
Next episode.
Hogan is finished, okay?
Finish what?
Wrestling. Okay, he takes a break now because obviously with the steroid trial, as I said, he doesn't want to be involved as the face of the company.
Right.
And he didn't return to the wrestling until the build up to WrestleMania 9. I think it was like February of the next year is when he came back to wrestling.
Right.
Sid Justice failed a drugs test prior to this match.
So why was he in the match?
Again, it's one of these things where Vince's hands are tied because obviously he's told people Sid Justice is going to be here. So Sid was allowed to wrestle his match, and then there was a European tour directly after this that Sid went on, again because people had bought tickets to see Sid. And when he was returned to America, Vince was going to give him a suspension, but he decided he was just going to quit instead. Didn't want to work for Vince anymore until a few years later when he comes working for Vince.
That's absolute bollocks.
Again, what is bollocks?
Because he failed a drug test. Just get rid of him. I don't give a... I just, quarter of the tickets are free, like, so it doesn't really matter. Just get rid of him.
So I know we normally do the wife awards, right?
What?
The wife awards, where you go through the pay-per-view and give your favourite wrestler, your least favourite wrestler.
There's not a lot to choose from, is there?
Yeah, well, no, we're not going to do that.
Alright, right.
But I did want to just kind of go through the Sid Justice Awards.
What?
Okay. So this is from Sid Justice's Wikipedia. Okay. These are the awards at Sid Justice. These are some distinguished awards that Sid has won.
Just because it's on Wikipedia doesn't mean it's true.
Oh no, I've looked into
Okay.
it. I'm
Just in case you were just relying on Wikipedia.
I've looked into it. Okay.
Okay.
So the Sid Justice Awards, 1993, the most overrated wrestler. 1993, the reader's least favourite wrestler. 1999, the worst on interviews. And 1990, the worst match of the year.
So what was he good at then?
This is what Sid was. He was big and he was strong, and that's all Vince really cares about.
Oh, I've never heard him.
The new wife awards, okay, because we can only really have one award to give out at the end of this. So this is the She Hates Wrestling award for, well, that wasn't shit. So is there any part of this match where you went, well, that wasn't shit?
No.
There was nothing.
Absolutely nothing, like.
Nothing at all. Start to finish, you were like, well, this is your shit.
Yeah, start to finish. So he said the interviews weren't good, the match wasn't good. I don't like when people just run out all guns blazing. I don't like that at all. So, no, the whole thing was just shit. I just don't get why people have to run into the situation. Like,
but that would have been, see, they needed to bring the Warrior back. They needed to get him over to all the crowd that Warrior's back. You know, needed a big event for him to do that.
even like the commentator at the end was like, oh, we're looking at the two most amazing athletes in the world right now. Something along those lines. I'm like, that's a bit of a stretch now.
Tiny smidgen.
Just like for the word athlete for a start, like, but who are the world's biggest athletes at the moment?
And do you think they're both on roids there now?
Yes! Just see
So
how fucking quick your man ran out.
So why weren't they drug tested?
Huh?
Why weren't they drug tested?
For obvious reasons why they're not drug tested. Because there would be no fucking wrestling if they were drug tested.
We were supposed to record this last week, but we couldn't.
Yeah.
And then I was on Twitter yesterday, and there's a great Twitter account at Alan_cheapshot, okay, that does agree on this day in wrestling and does great stuff like he puts up, okay. And I just thought this was very interesting that yesterday in 1993, so a year after we recorded this, okay,
A year after you recorded this?
a year after this pay-per-view.
Jeez, we're time up.
In Blackburn, England, Arn Anderson and Sid Justice were involved in a stabbing.
They for real?
Right? According to various accounts, now reading the thread that he posted yesterday, okay? So according to various accounts, the scuffle carried on from an argument at a hotel bar where Sid's place as a member of the Four Horsemen. While Arn Anderson was told he never drew any money in the wrestling business, a scuffle broke out between Arn and Sid. The argument from earlier picked up soon after. Allegedly, Sid burst into Arn Anderson's hotel room with a chair. Arn tried to defend himself with a pair of safety scissors. The fight spilled out of the hotel into the hallway, with Sid getting a hold of the scissors. The two men would stab each other a combined 24 times, with Anderson getting 20 of the 24 stab wounds and Sid only getting the 4. Too Cold Scorpio, another wrestler, broke up the fight and was credited for saving Arn Anderson's life. Big Van Vader, who you liked from the Chamber of Horrors match, where you come out with the elephant mask with the smoke coming out of it. Right? He saved Sid's life because one of the 4 stab wounds that Sid received was in his stomach, and Vader plugged the hole with his finger.
Oof. Both
men were rushed to hospital, and after an overnight stay, both were deported back to the United States. No charges were ever filed against the incident, but neither man got off scot-free. After hearing of the incident, several wrestlers threatened a mutiny if Sid, who was seen as the instigator, wasn't reprimanded. WCW Executive Vice President Eric Bischoff had little alternative but to drop the hammer. Sid, who was booked to become WCW's World Champion that December, was fired, and then Anderson was suspended. The two men have since made peace over the incident, and Sid has apologised to Anderson over what happened. So that kind of term, Psycho Sid, is...
But when you say he hit him with a chair,
yeah.
do you mean like a wrestling chair?
No, like a chair you would have gotten there.
I thought you meant like he just like walks around with a chair.
Under his arm.
Ready to go at any point.
So Anderson probably would have preferred if he had him with a wrestling chair in a bar. Right, so we need pick what we're going to watch next.
Right.
Okay? So I just need you to pick a number between 1, 3 and 4.
What's between 1, 3 and 4?
Pick a number between 1, 3 or 4.
4.
4. Okay. Now I need you to pick a number between 26 and 33.
So why couldn't I pick 2?
Because I explained in the last
Oh.
time we did this. I don't want you picking the same era of
Alright,
WrestleManias
okay.
every single time.
So what's I just pick there?
You picked 4.
Okay, 4.
So now I need you to pick a number between 26 and 33.
30.
The next episode we are going to watch is the main event to WrestleMania 30, which is Batista versus Randy Orton versus Daniel Bryan.
Oh.
How do you feel about that?
Kill me now. Oh.
What's wrong?
No, I just... Whatever about like going back and watching these like wrestling from the 80s or early 90s, like, but just wrestling more recent is just unbearable. Don't you have a Daniel Bryan t-shirt?
I do, yeah.
Is this the yes, yes, yes fella?
Yeah.
And then he was like, no, no, no. Was it maybe, maybe? Was it maybe, maybe, maybe?
Yes. I don't think so.
Yeah, and then it's nothing.
Actually, sorry, I think there was a maybe t-shirt.
Oh, right.
But it
But
wasn't.
there wasn't a...
nothing to
People
do
weren't
with him,
showing
like,
at him, maybe,
no,
maybe.
it wasn't him, like, it wasn't. There was a t-shirt, yeah.
Right.
This would be interesting because you watched, I think, 2 hours of this WrestleMania.
I did.
Yeah.
When?
When it was on. This one when we had everyone at the house. This WrestleMania.
Or, yeah, no, I went to bed.
Yeah, I know you went to bed, but you seen the start of it, so you'll see the end of it now. So that's it for this month's episode. I hope everybody will be back next month as we discuss the main event to WrestleMania 30. It's going to be good. If you please like, subscribe, share and comment on whatever platform you listen to. You can follow us on Twitter at SheHateWrestling. I know you hate that. Go on,
I
say
hate
it.
that. She hate wrestling. She hate wrestling.
There's too many characters. There's just too many characters.
This doesn't make any sense. She hate wrestling. This doesn't make any sense.
But what? Like, it can't be she hates wrestling.
Wrestle. She hates wrestle.
She hates wrestle. That sounds like it's robotic as well.
Or how about like she hates Vince?
She hates Vince.
There you go.
Hate Vince?
Yes. Have you not got this? This is like the only thing I remember from every single podcast we do. This fella is an out and out dick. Here we go. She hates
We
Vince.
should change how we do this podcast.
Maybe.
So until next time, goodbye from me.
Bye.